Hello Pisces, welcome to Destiny Guided Tarot, and thank you for being with me. This is going to be a general reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. As a general reading, of course, it can't resonate with everyone, so just take what fits, throw the rest away. You can also watch your other placements, and if you're not sure what those are, you can find out for free at Cafe Astrology. I've linked that below for you. And it is absolutely free. So let's get started. Messages, please. For Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is for January. We're beginning with the first week. And we start with the Three of Wands. It's too many, so let's try that again. And there's one that wants to fly out. The Tower. Messages, please. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, week 1 of January. 2 more, please. And one last card. There we go. Okay. So let's take a look here and see what we have. So beginning with the Three of Wands. You stand at the edge of something new. The Three of Wands in hand, right? A card showing that you've already set events in motion. You may have recently taken a risk, launched an idea, or chosen a direction with the hope that something more is on its way. There's a sense of anticipation here. Maybe you've begun a creative project and are waiting for your work to gain traction, or perhaps you've been preparing for a move, a new job, or a long-term shift in identity. You're looking outward, scanning the horizon, and the future feels open. But then comes disruption, the Tower. This is the lightning strike that hits just when things feel steady or predictable. It suggests that something, either external or internal, shakes your foundation. It may be sudden, but it's not senseless. This Tower moment could appear as a relationship breaking apart so you can confront what you truly need, or a plan collapsing because it was built on compromise or outdated beliefs, or a realization that dismantles an old version of yourself. Whatever form it takes, the Tower clears away what cannot support the future that you're trying to build. Now, after the storm, there's silence, the Four of Swords. Here you withdraw. Whether by choice or necessity, you're pushed into a period of rest, reflection, and recovery. The Four of Swords often follows upheaval, saying, do not push right now, let things integrate. This phase might look like taking time off work, or stepping back from social relationships, or slowing down emotionally to process what the Tower revealed. Okay? It's a healing cocoon, quiet, restorative, and intentional. From this stillness emerges guidance, the Hierophant. After the retreat, you reconnect with structure, tradition, or spiritual grounding. The Hierophant suggests that you may seek or become a teacher. You integrate wisdom that helps you understand your place in a larger pattern. This could manifest as turning to therapy, a spiritual practice, or a mentor to rebuild your belief system, returning to routines or disciplines that stabilize you, or recognizing that you're being initiated into a deeper understanding of yourself and your values. If the Tower cleared away false foundations, the Hierophant helps you build new ones with meaning. And then finally, you have clarity with the Ace of Swords. The narrative ends with a breakthrough. A new idea, truth, or conviction cuts through confusion. The Ace of Swords is the moment the mind sharpens. This is the path. This is what I know now. It may bring a decision that you finally feel confident making, or a new plan formed from a wiser perspective, or a personal truth that you speak out loud for the first time. This is the gift the whole journey has been leading toward. So in summary, you begin with intention, face a disruptive but necessary shakeup, retreat to recover, seek or receive deeper guidance, and emerge with powerful clarity. So it's suggesting a transformative cycle that leads to sharper understanding and a stronger, truer direction. All right, so let's go on into the second week. Messages, please, for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, week 2 of January. Beginning with the King of Cups. To the Two of Swords. And then the Star. 2 more, please. Eight of Wands. Okay, and there's our last one. 9 of Cups. So, move these up or we'll run out of room here. All right, so let's take a look. So this week begins with a calm presence. Okay, emotional maturity and composure. The King of Cups suggests that you've been trying to handle a situation with compassion, balance, and restraint, even if strong feelings move beneath the surface. You might be acting as the steady one for others, or working hard to keep your heart centered. Now, this could show up as managing a relationship or family situation with patience, or keeping calm in a workplace full of tension, or navigating your own emotional depths without letting them capsize you. You're starting from a place of emotional wisdom. But inside, a crossroads, 2 of Swords. Despite that calm exterior, you're sitting in a moment of indecision. The 2 of Swords shows a choice that you haven't fully confronted, possibly because either option feels risky or because both truths can't coexist. You may be avoiding a conversation that could change the dynamic of a relationship, or trying to choose between staying in something familiar or moving towards something new, or wrestling with competing desires or priorities. The King of Cups suggests you're handling it with grace, but the 2 of Swords shows the internal standstill. And then there's a shift toward hope. We have the Star here. Eventually, clarity begins to seep in, not logically at first, but spiritually or intuitively. The Star is a card of healing, optimism, and renewed trust in the future. It's the sense that you can choose, and that the path that calls to your heart is aligned with the highest good. This might look like a moment of inspiration or reassurance, or a sign, synchronicity, or dream that gives you direction, or simply feeling your way toward what feels peaceful and authentic rather than stressful or forced. The Star encourages vulnerability and a return to hope. Now, momentum's going to build with the 8 of Wands. Okay? Once the fog lifts, everything speaks up. The 8 of Wands brings rapid movement, messages, travel, or sudden developments. What was stalled becomes active. Possibilities would include news or communication that pushes things forward, or a sudden opportunity appearing, such as a job, an invitation, or a conversation, or the energy inside of you snapping into motion, finally knowing what you want and acting on it. This is the green light moment. And then with the 9 of Cups, fulfillment is within reach. The story is going to end on a note of satisfaction, emotional fulfillment, and wishes coming true. The 9 of Cups shows you not only getting what you wanted, but feeling proud of yourself for navigating the journey with integrity and self-awareness. This may manifest as a romantic situation that's resolving in your favor, or achieving a personal goal that once felt stalled, or maybe feeling a sense of deep emotional contentment and confidence. something that you've been hoping quietly for is coming into alignment. So to summarize, you begin with emotional steadiness, but face an inner stalemate. Through healing, hope, and intuitive clarity, you reconnect with your direction. And then life accelerates, and you reach a deeply satisfying outcome. Okay, so let's continue. Messages, please, for the third week for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Third week of January, that is. Messages for Pisces, please. Yep. Well, that's not a good one to start with. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Messages, please. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Oh, there's another one. There's the Tower again. Wow. Two more, please. One and one more. Looking a little angsty. Okay, so let's take a look here. So your story opens, or that week opens, with a major shift in energy. The Wheel of Fortune turns, often without warning, pulling you into a new cycle that feels bigger than your personal choices. Something in your life may recently have changed direction, either unexpectedly or with a sense of destiny. This shift could show up as opportunities suddenly appearing or disappearing, a change in someone else's behavior that affects your plans, a feeling of being swept into events that you didn't anticipate, or maybe a sense that the universe is rearranging things around you. You're in motion, whether you initiated the change or not. Okay, so as the wheel turns, conflict or friction emerges. The Five of Wands suggests competition, misunderstandings, or chaotic energy, not necessarily destructive, but disruptive enough to create stress. Okay, this may manifest as arguments in your social circle or workplace, clashing goals with someone close to you, feeling like you must prove yourself or defend your ideas, or being internally scattered and unable to focus. It's the kind of environment where everyone talks at once and nothing feels settled. And then there's a breaking point, the Tower. The tension builds until something gives way. The Tower is the moment of rupture, the collapse of the unstable structure of the Five of Wands. This is not a small correction, but a major clearing. The Tower might appear as a job ending or a living situation suddenly changing. It could also be the truth coming out in a relationship or a friendship. A belief or identity crumbling as new understanding hits, or a confrontation that can no longer be postponed. Excuse me. Although shocking, this event releases what was blocking authentic growth. So with the Page of Wands, we have a spark renewal. In the ashes of the Tower, something fresh stirs. The Page of Wands is the flicker of excitement, curiosity, or boldness that follows destruction. It's the part of you that rises and says, maybe this is a chance to start differently. This could be a new idea, excuse me, or direction that lights up your spirit. Maybe a message or an opportunity that inspires movement, a burst of creative energy, or simply a willingness to explore the unknown. The Page of Wands doesn't have the full plan, but it does have the spark. But the mind lingers, right? We have the Nine of Swords here. Even with new inspiration, the emotional aftermath is still heavy. The Nine of Swords shows worry, overthinking, or fear, often magnified at night when everything feels louder. This suggests that while you're moving forward, you're also processing anxiety about what fell apart. This might look like replaying events and wondering if you could have prevented the Tower moment, fearing the uncertainty of the future, imagining worst-case scenarios, or feeling guilt, loss, or emotional exhaustion. The card emphasizes that much of this suffering is internal and amplified by fear, not reality. A major shift sets things in motion, summarizing, So a major shift sets things into motion, generating conflict or chaotic energy. That tension ultimately fractures into a dramatic breaking point. Now, from the rubble, a new direction or spark of enthusiasm emerges, but not without lingering anxiety and mental strain. So basically, it's suggesting a cycle where upheaval leads to renewal, but healing the mind takes time, right? Okay, so let's have a look at the final week. Messages, please, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the final week of January. We begin with Spear Hollow. On to another spear, Spear 4. Something don't want to come out. Another spear, Spear Maiden. It says spears in here. One more, please. Another spear. Oh, that's interesting. Spear Queen. And one final card, please. And Sword King. Alright, let's have a look at what we've got. So spears are wands, just so you know. There's a sacred beginning, Spear Hollow, which is one. Okay, Ace. Your story opens in a consecrated space with the Spear Hollow suggesting a purified intention. Excuse me, a beginning touched by purpose or destiny. This is the moment where you feel the spark of this is meant for me. Something in your life is being set apart, elevated, or clarified. This may appear as a new passion emerging with surprising clarity, a renewed sense of identity or a mission, choosing to honor a commitment that you had previously only half held, or recognizing that a certain path demands your full presence. It's the calling moment before the journey truly begins. And next, we have Spear 4. This is a steadying force. From this sacred beginning, the story moves into stabilization. The Spear 4 often represents the grounding of fire, a structure or milestone that gives your efforts support. There's a sense of celebration, foundation, or momentum that feels secure. This could manifest as a reaching an important phase of a project and finally seeing it take shape, or forming a partnership or a team that energizes you. It could also be establishing routines that support creativity or building harmony within a household or a community. It's the raised pillars that say you have something solid to build on. Then we have Spear Maiden, the youthful fire. Next enters, as I was saying, Spear Maiden, representing curiosity, enthusiasm, and a fearless willingness to explore. She brings fresh energy into the narrative, playfulness, experimentation, bravery. This is the part of your journey where you chase a new inspiration or idea. You may take a bold step without overthinking, or explore unfamiliar territory with excitement. Or you may rediscover your passion after a period of stagnation. She adds movement and emotional color. Your spirit begins to roam again, no longer confined to what is safe. Then we move on to the Spear Queen, which is a mature flame. The story continues to grow in power. As the Spear Queen arrives, she is the fully realized version of our maiden. Okay? Confident, self-assured, deeply expressive, and capable of directing fire with precision rather than impulse. This stage looks like stepping into a leadership role or owning your expertise, radiating authenticity, attraction, or charisma, trusting your intuition and creative impulses, or making decisions that reflect personal sovereignty rather than obligation. This is your power phase, the moment when others look to you and when you begin to command rather than simply explore. And then we have the narrative concluding with the Sword King. Sharp shift into logic. With the King, there's a sudden movement from the realm of fire, passion and creativity, into the realm of air, which is clarity, authority, and discernment. Where the Spirit Queen rules with fire and heart, the Sword King rules with precision and reason. This final card suggests bringing intellect to balance your passion, making a decisive choice that requires objectivity, setting boundaries or standards, communicating with authority, or cutting away anything that distracts from your purpose. It's the moment when you take the fire you cultivated and refine it with strategy. The Sword King ends the story with decisions made, lines drawn, and direction established. Okay, so you're beginning with a sacred calling, building a stable foundation, gaining momentum through curiosity and exploration, which evolves into mastery and confident expression, and ultimately balance that fire with clarity and wisdom. Wow, very interesting, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this or found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Likes help get the message out to others who need to hear it. If you're so inclined, you can also subscribe. Click the notification button so you know when I release new content. I'd appreciate that. I do thank you again for joining me, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks. Bye-bye.